Do you ever feel like you're just going in circles? Do you feel like you've accomplished something and gotten to a certain level, and then you're like, how did I get here again? I thought I dealt with that. I thought that was done. And we feel like we're going in circles. Well, have you ever heard the analogy of an onion, that life is like an onion, right? And that you have to keep peeling off the layers to get to where you need to be. Peeling off the layers. The outside layers need to go, and then there's other issues and they need to go. You just keep peeling and keep going through. I was thinking of another analogy this morning, which was when we have a wound and our wound needs to be healed, and you've, let's say, got a bruise or have a scrape in your skin, and the top layers of your skin are damaged, and so they have to heal, right? And each new layer that comes up from underneath, the healthy layers come up and replace the unhealthy layers. And that's what God does with refining. When He refines us, He heats it up. He heats up things. Things get harder. Things get more difficult. He heats up our lives, but the heat brings out the dross, brings out the impurities, brings out the issues and the problems and the things that are deep in us that have to come up and be swooped out. And so just like gold, when gold is being heated and refined, all the dross comes up, it gets swept off, and there's a rest. And then it gets reheated, and all the dross comes up, and it gets swept away until we are refined. It's not circles just to go in circles. It's layers. You're just walking through the layers of your life. And I know in the Bible, when it talks about the layers or the circles, it's actually talking about moving up the mountain, not just going in circles. We always talk about, I feel like I've gone in circles around this mountain long enough. And that's true. There are times when all we're doing is circling the same mountain, and we need to ask the Lord why. Is it something that we haven't learned yet? Is it disobedience on our part? Is there something that we need to learn or grow in to get out of that circle pattern that literally is going in the same path? But the point of circles and mountains is actually to ascend the mountain. So what happens is, with each layer of growth, with each layer of healing, our relationship with God gets deeper, our strength in ourselves because of Him gets deeper, and we can climb up the mountain. It's like a path that goes around a mountain. It goes up and up and up. It's a gradual ascent, because going straight up is way too difficult for most people. Climbing hand over hand up a mountain and hanging on for dear life is probably more than most of us can handle. But walking up step by step around the path, around the mountain, over and over, around until we get to the top. We may not even know how we got there, because it felt like it took so long to get us to the top of the mountain. But somehow we did. Somehow we made a climb. Somehow we had patience and endurance. Somehow we clung to the Lord as we climbed up the mountain. As we climbed up the mountain, and we finally got there, up to the top of the mountain, standing on the mountaintop with the Lord in victory. For it is through Christ that we overcome. In Him we overcome all things. He overcame the world, and in Him we do as well.